Good morning, children. I'll start with matrices. Now look at this. 3 children obtained marks in 3 subjects. So in a tabular form, so we write it like this. So here, the marks obtained by 3 children in 3 different subjects, we write it like this in a tabular form. Now if I write the same number without writing anything, only the 3 numbers which we have written, within a bracket, a square bracket. This is known as a matrix. So the matrix is basically the rectangular arrangement of numbers. So this is a matrix. Matrices I have written on the top is a plural of matrix. Matrices is plural of this. So many matrices together, matrices. Now I repeat. So matrix is the rectangular arrangement of numbers. So here it is. So these are all matrices. Now keep note, no commas in between, no lines in between, only the numbers written. Okay? A matrix is denoted by a capital letter. So this is a matrix A, B and C. And these numbers which we have written on the matrices within the square bracket, it can be a small bracket as well. So a matrix D, I wrote it like this. So these are the 2 representations of the matrices. One within the square bracket or within the small bracket, any one. And these numbers which we have written here are known as the elements of the matrix. So the numbers with which a matrix is formed are the elements of the matrices. Now when we come to matrices, now look at it. There are some looking like rectangles, some looking like squares. Okay. But then the matrix can be a square matrix, matrix can be a rectangular matrix. I'll come to that little later. In the beginning here, the matrix consists of rows and columns. The horizontal lines, these are rows. And these vertical lines are called columns. So matrix consists of rows and columns. The vertical lines are columns, the horizontal lines are rows. So look at this matrix. How many rows? two rows. One is this, the other one is this. So there are two rows and three columns. 1, 2, 3. So we count the rows by counting the horizontal lines, counting the columns by counting the vertical lines. So two rows and three columns. These rows and columns written together, two rows and three columns, is called the order of the matrix. So next important thing to know is order of a matrix. Is M by N. Okay, it's written M into N, but we read it as M by N. Okay, so order of a matrix is M by N, implies M rows and N columns. So the first one of the order indicates the rows, number of rows. The second one indicates the number of columns. So if the order of a matrix is M by N, then it's understood that there are M rows and N columns. So look at this. I've written 2 by 3. 2 rows, 3 columns. The order of this matrix is 2 by 2. 2 rows and 2 columns. Here 1, 2, 3. So 3 rows and 2 columns. Vertical lines 2. Here it is 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay? So order of a matrix, and it's an important thing to know. Order of a matrix is M by N. M is the number of rows, N is the number of columns. That's important. Okay. Now I come to different types of matrices. So first I said rectangular arrangement. So a matrix where the number of rows differ from number of columns. The first one, number of rows 2, number of columns 3. Third one, C, number of columns 2, number of rows 3. So if number of columns is not equal to number of rows, it is a rectangular matrix. M is not equal to N, rectangular matrix. If M is equal to N, it is called a square matrix. So the number of arrangements, the way the numbers are written is called a matrix. The horizontal lines are the rows, vertical lines are the columns. Order of a matrix is M by N. The first one stands for the number of rows. So M rows, N column. If M is not equal to N, it's a rectangular matrix. If you look at the figure also, this looks like a rectangle and this looks like a square. Okay? So where M is equal to N, it's a square matrix. Where M is not equal to N, it's a rectangular matrix. Now I come to our different types of matrices here. If a matrix has only one row, it has only one row, how many columns? 3 columns. Okay, it's not that only one row, it has to have a row and column. So, but there's only one row is called a row matrix. If it has only one column, it's called a column matrix. So row matrix, column matrix.